All right, everybody, welcome back, SixRounds Studio. This week we're back working on Brad's 44 carbine. If you've been following the channel for the last several videos, then you know about this stock. You know that, excuse me, that I had to completely re-inlet it and go through the whole process of adding wood and material back in, putting it up in the mill, milling out the inletting so that it met all the tolerances. And then I had some difficulty in a previous video getting it to shoot or getting it to run. After some noodling around, after some investigation, found out where the interference was coming from. I fixed that. The gun now functions. Now it's time to get back to the reason that Brad sent this to me in the first place, was to get this thing shaped up so that it looked like a nice original Ruger Gunstock, which it is not. It is an aftermarket, and we talk about that at length on the channel as well. So I have to do some work to get this thing shaped up. Now, this has been my model. It doesn't need to be, but this is on the model Gunstock I've been using. I made this at Ruger in the wood shop back in the late 70s. This is bird's eye maple, and we had this thing turned, inletted, and shaped. So I know this is a good stock. I know this is original because I made it, all right? So I'm going to use this to kind of shape this really big, bulbous, oversized aftermarket stock. So I'm going to take some time and try to reshape this thing and use the dimensions that I have here in order to get this thing to look like it's attractive. We're going to simply, start with this thing, is we're going to use rasp. That's going to be the easiest, simplest way to get this material off. So that'll be today's video. We're going to start the shaping on this Gunstock. Will I get it done this video? I don't know, but let's give it a try. To get started, I need to have a centerline reference. So I'm going to try to make this as symmetrical as I can. It's actually not too bad. But what we're going to do is we're going to use this stock from the 70s, and we're going to start striking some measurements, and they don't have to be completely exact. For instance, this is 1 inch 5/80. So we'll come into center line, and we'll simply draw some strike lines, and believe it or not, that one's not too bad. From these locations, we're going to simply swoop this back or taper this back into a kind of Coke bottle shape. That'll give me something to guide off from. It's not perfect. And then we'll simply bring this back into here. The comb tapers in pretty sharply here. So this comes down to 325 thousandths. So we can do that, and you can really see how wide that is here. So we'll just pick a place. Again, these are just guidelines. And then in the back, be somewhere around 1 inch 150. And if we actually looked at where they roll this in, that is 1 inch 150. So if we were to take a ruler and strike a line that looks something like this. And the same on the other side. That gives me 2 lines that I can guide off from to start creating this comb shape. And one of the other dimensions is how thick do we want this to be across here? My mics won't fit all the way down in there, but I can get a general idea. So it comes out at 1 inch 365, and we're way oversized there. I'm not going to pull that completely down to that dimension because I still have to do some sanding and final shaping once I'm done with the rasp. Now, I'm sure every stock maker has their preferred method for going about this. And if I've learned nothing about the YouTubes since I've been doing this, is that all the opinions and all the knives will come out. But this is how I do it. This is how I have always approached stock making. I always try to find my lead lines. I always try to find my shadow lines. And then I'm able to feather off or fade off from those lines. So I've got my comb line now. I'm happy with how that looks as a guide. Now I'm going to come up here and start going after that V behind the receiver, and that will get this entire top so that it has its shadow lines or its lead lines or light lines, so that from there I know how to proceed down into the main body of the stock. Rasp is a little too aggressive for this short area. We've got the buttstock area all shaped up. We may have to do a little bit of refinement here, but we've got it pretty much matching this stock here. One thing I want to be clear of, this is more of a custom Gunstock. I spent time slimming this down, making it more refined, which is what Gunstock should be. But anyway, and I'm trying to make this one more like an original off-the-shelf Ruger 44 carbine stock. Anyway, so we're close to these dimensions, and it is largely what it's supposed to look like, but again, it's a lot better than what it looked like when I started. This was all really kind of big and bulbous, but we've got it refined now. Nice straight lines from butt to wrist, all up through here. Nice straight lines across the top, nice straight lines across the toe. So we've got that, so it's looking really nice. Next thing we need to do is get up into the section where the barrel and action sits. We need to be a little bit more cautious here because everything is so thin and everything is so delicate. For instance, I need to pull off the receiver latch block because I need to get this wood so that it's tapered to the same angle as that latch block. So we're going to have to pull this off and begin to work that a little bit. Anyway, here we go.